2 weeks ago, called me and said I was going to deliver a lecture today in memory of our friend and comrade. And without allowing me to reply, he said the program will hold on the 15th of April. Of course, I had no choice in the matter. Unlike Dr. Akemi Adeshina, who was a very quiet student in Ife. We were contemporaries. Yinka was one of those young men who we were very proud to live in Ife when we were living. Another gentleman on the high table, Olumude Fusika, and now, was in the radical movement in Ife. He left them as members of the Alliance of Progressive Students. But Yinka ran into some problems. He won't keep silent. He will also not stop agitating for the welfare of students. And so the authorities decided to expel him and some other students. Yinka, of course, led a group of the rusticated students to our office. Again, it was another, Egbon, we're in trouble, you have to defend us. What happened? We have been expelled. I said, no, you are going to go back to school because you are fighting for a just cause. And so we prepared the papers and rushed to Ife. The university hired a very top senior advocate of Nigeria to defend the expulsion of the students, Professor Kasumo, SAM, a very respectable gentleman. And the first day I went to him, sir, these students that have been expelled are some of the best in the country. They are for, sir. I'm going to do everything to have them back. And in fairness to him, he said, Femi, if you win the case, I will not allow the university to appeal. And indeed, he won the case, and the court ruled that the students had committed no offense known to law, and they were merely expressing their views.
Here, we give the latest gist,
and that the manner of their expulsion was illegal because they were not given the right of fair hearing. Because in our submission, we had impressed it on the judge that even God, who was omnipresent, still asked Adam, where art thou? Why did you do that which I asked you not to do? So why will a vice chancellor not give students the right of fair hearing? And so the court said the students should go back and restrain the university perpetually from harassing or intimidating them. That was how Yinka was able to complete his degree program in Ife. Now, since then, the likes of Yinka Odumaki continue to give us hope for the country. So to have lost him a year ago was a monumental tragedy. Well, happily we are gathered here today to honor his memory. This is not usual in Nigeria. Many people die and you say, Kotiku, Kotikuto, Komakuloshani. There are people like that in this country. But we are gathered to celebrate a man of honor, a man of integrity, a man of consistency, and a man who stood for the future. Baba, when you were speaking, you said you are living. You are not leaving us yet, Baba. Because the likes of you are few in this society. And as long as we continue to have people like you, sir, you remain a symbol of justice, and you remain a symbol of intimidation for the oppressors of our people. Of course, I can attest to the fact that Joe and Yinka have been twins for years, not when they got married. They had known themselves in the struggle. And when the two of them indicated their wish to marry, it was we're very happy, because it was not very common in our struggle to have two comrades who may decide to live together forever. Joe, even though you have lost Yinka, as they say, with profound respect to my pastor, God is the husband of a beautiful widow like you, and I'm sure he will never abandon you. Your children will be greater than you and much more greater than Yinka Odomaki. Today we are asked to speak on a matter that was of such interest to Yinka, and that's on restructuring. Baba and I discussed restructuring. Pastor Bakar and I discussed restructuring. Yinka and I regularly discuss restructuring. I often accuse Yinka of demanding for restructuring like politicians, and that we need to situate restructuring. It shouldn't hang in the air, because as I'm going to show you, sir, a lot of success has been recorded. Because the country we inherited in 1999
channel. Here we
was a complete unitary system, complete. But what has been done in the last 22 years or thereabout, 23, and I have been part of that movement in court, to challenge the enormous powers of Abuja. And I can tell you today, without any fear of contradiction, that a lot of success has been recorded, a lot of powers, either to exercise by Abuja, have been taken. Unfortunately, those powers have been cornered by state governors. All those powers. In a way that our people cannot see any difference between 99 and now. And I'm saying here, sir, that what the National Assembly has continued to do is to amend an illegality, the so-called 1999 Constitution. It is Decree 24 of 1999. Signed. When you see the so-called Constitution, deliberately, the man who signed the law, you won't see his signature. That's fraud. Because when you read a law, the person that signed the bill into law, his name will be there. He will sign, and then the date of his signature will be there. Decree 24 of 1999 was signed, promulgated by General Salami Abubakar on the 5th of May, 1999. But today you will not see his name in that document. It's a fraudulent document. Now, and what is that document saying? It says, we the people of Nigeria have enacted, made, and given to ourselves this constitution. No, that is not true. It was given to us, imposed on us by the last set of military dictators in Nigeria, headed by General Salami Abubakar. And because that document is okay for members of the ruling class, all of them, regardless of political, ethnic, regional, or religious inclinations, they are all comfortable with the document. So the status quo is okay. including all those who are campaigning now to be president. It is to retain the status quo and perhaps adjust this here and there. That is the only thing they are saying. So those who are contesting, particularly on the platform of the ruling party, are saying, we are going to continue. We want to continue the programs of the Buhari administration that has put our country under. Nigeria has become a huge joke in the Committee of Nations. And so for any set of people to say you want to, package this rickety vehicle, you want to panabit it, it's not going to move. So when they are talking of continuity, it can only be a continuity of disaster, continuity of injustice, continuity of corruption. They are pardoning themselves now. I'm sure you are aware. A man came to power and said, I'm going to fight corruption today. Now, the only two governors that have been jailed, you now say you want to fight after stealing billions of naira. And somebody asked me this morning, Mr. Falana, what is your reaction? I have no reaction. So what do you mean? My reaction is that all criminals, all thieves, all petty thieves in our prisons should be released. All. You know why? You know why? Because under Section 17 of their Constitution, there shall be equality, equal rights for all citizens. And Section 42 of their Constitution says there shall be no discrimination on the basis of class, gender, whatever. So you can't take out two people on the basis of the fact that they belong to the ruling party. It's illegal. You take them out and leave the rest there. I can assure you, if the government does not release others, and I'm going to suggest to lawyers whose clients are likely to be left in custody to go to court and challenge the discriminatory treatment meted out to their own clients. Because just 2 weeks ago, a Nigerian was jailed for stealing noodles and spaghetti, worth 5,000 naira in Abuja. And he pleaded with the judge, I have no food. And the judge jailed him 6 months with 20,000 naira fine. Even though I asked a lawyer in Abuja to go and pay the fine. But we are talking of justice and fair play. And that was the oath of office taken by this guy, that we are not going to be unfair to any citizen. So if you want to pardon your friends, you must also extend presidential pardon to all thieves in Nigeria. Because if the big thieves are being asked to go away, you must also extend that facility to others. Apart from changing military decrees to acts of parliament, the National Assembly has not shown any readiness to review the Constitution with a view to restoring the federal status of the Republic. Hence the demand for a sovereign national conference or restructuring of the country. Now, what did they do? The APC people. In their manifesto, it is well stated that if you elect us, if you put us in office, we are going to restore federalism in Nigeria. Oh, that's what the APC put out in 2014. As soon as they were voted to power, President Buhari said he doesn't know what they mean by restructuring. And doesn't believe in it. But in 2018, when we're going to have another election, a committee of APC was set up to deceive Nigerians, headed by the governor of Kaduna State, Governor Rufai. And that committee came out, beautiful program on restructuring, that Nigeria should be restructured. It was in their manifesto. They set up another committee on it. That committee said, restructure Nigeria for the purpose of the election. After the election, that report was thrown into the dustbin. And that is where we are. Very soon, somebody has just informed me and Baba on the ITP that is going to declare very soon for presidency. You know, many people are declaring now. But ask them, what do you want to do with this monster called Nigeria? That's where you know where they are going. And I'm going to beg you, for those who are interested in the future of our country, you must begin to ask them, what are you going to do with the local government system? What do you want to do with unemployment in the country of our youths? What is your program on security? Because that has collapsed under Buhari. So what is your own solution that will be different from what we have in town now? Unless you ask this question, there are 60 million children officially on the street. And that was before Boko Haram and others, started chasing students and kidnapping them, or pupils, primary school pupils. So we have millions of our children on the street. What will you do about them? The governor of Lagos State was passing by the last time, and I read that he saw two children, two. And the governor said, oh, why are you hawking goods? And he decided to give them scholarship. And I asked myself, there are thousands of children in Lagos. If we pass the same route, thousands. But you know what we are doing? You know what we are doing? I commended the governor, and I've set up a team in my office to help us collect the number of children, local government by local government in Lagos. No, wait. And when we finish, we are going to send a letter to the governor listing the children that should be given scholarship. But beyond the joke, there are two laws in Lagos State. The Child's Right Law, Section 15, and the UBE Law, Section 2, that have made education free and compulsory for every child in Lagos from primary to junior secondary school. So it's not a matter of scholarship. It is compulsory. In fact, it's a criminal offense. It is a criminal offense for a parent or a guardian not to put his child or ward in the school. And we want to start to implement that law very soon. And we're starting with Lagos. Now, to let you know the progress that will be made, state governments, particularly Lagos, that boast, we're told by political leaders in Lagos, Lagos is the 5th largest economy in Africa. Very good. Please let us begin to ask questions. Because they say Lagos is working. It's only working for a few people. So if they say Lagos is working, we must have security so that our girls are not raped inside buses. Lagos is the largest city in the world. Metropolitan Lagos is the largest city in the world without CCTV cameras. If we have CCTV cameras, the criminals raping girls, kidnapping girls inside buses and raping them will be exposed. If the policing system is working, as soon as that girl was sending text to her friend, she will have, if she was in England, it's a question of calling 999 or getting the police to surround the criminal. But we say our cities are working. How? Please. We are happy now, and we are told that the IGR of Lagos, which was 600 million in 1999, has climbed to 45 billion naira per month. Now, please, let us now begin to ask questions. Why are you asking people to pay taxes without representation? What am I paying for? I mean, they sent me a bill one day. And I was coming from the court. I passed through the Lagos tax office. I said, come on, don't provoke me to go to court. So what do you mean? Because I don't want you people to say I'm inciting people not to pay tax. What am I paying tax for, Mr. Taxman? Because taxes are for security. Good roads in my neighborhood, water, light. Which one have you given? Which one have you given? Which one? So please, let us negotiate. This is your bill. So I can give you what I think is reasonable. Because I have a generator in my house and the office. From my own money. And you are not counting that. I have my borehole in the office and in my house. And I have my security people hired by me. So what am I paying for? So please, since you now say it's 45 billion, we want to see dividends of democracy in Lagos. I must start with Lagos. Sir, among the cases that are the ones, the military put the Land Use Act in the Constitution and said it was a federal enactment. But we now have judgments to the effect that the land in every state is held in trust for the people by the governor. So when people were talking about Ruga, and I came out, unless a governor wants to ruralize his state, nobody can force you. And I said, President Buhari cannot control land outside the Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria. That is the law today. Two, sir, an Attorney General of the Federation and Attorney General of Lagos State. Lagos went to court to say physical planning cannot be the business of the federal government because before 1999, if you wanted to ratify your landed document, you want to approve your plan, you have to go to the Federal Secretariat. Lagos won the case. It was 4-3. 4 justices against 3 in the Supreme Court to declare that all physical planning in every state in Nigeria shall belong to the state government. That is why today you have to go to Alausa for ratification of your building plan. In another case, Attorney General of the Federation and Attorney General of Lagos, all the properties of the federal government in Lagos, you say you have to go and get your C04 in Abuja. Lagos said no. Since those properties are in Lagos, you must get your C04 in Lagos. And Lagos won the case. On vehicle registration, FRSC decided to take all the money. Lagos said no, we are going to have our own registration. And Lagos again won. That was a political battle. Now, before, if you wanted to dredge any part of the waters in Lagos, you have to go to Abuja to get a license. But the Supreme Court, no Court of Appeal has held that inland waterways is the business of the House of Assembly. It is only when you are talking of intra-water, water between Lagos and Ogun, that the federal may come in. But if it's intra, it is the business of the state. And that is why today, we have asked Lagos, chase out Niwa. There's one they call Niwa. Nigerian inland waterway. They have no business in Lagos or in any of the coastal states. That is the position of our court. Now, seizure of local government fund, of course you are aware of that. When Obasanjo seized the money belonging to Lagos State, Lagos State went to court and won the case on funds in the, what do you call it now? Offshore. The federal government went to court to say states adjoining offshore cannot claim 13%. No. Of course, the Supreme Court said, yes, federal government, you are right. But you know what happened? As soon as that case was lost, we told the people of the Niger Delta, this is not a legal battle. And of course, They fought it politically. By the time the Niger Delta militants made it impossible for the government to mine oil, if it has been shown, those who drafted that contract, I was pleading with the court to send them to the EFCC for economic sabotage. They couldn't show you. And the court ruled that that fund ought to be paid to the federation account every month to be shared by all the tiers of government. So the point I'm making therefore, the other time, yes, the last one. The chief of army staff woke up last year, December 2020. That fellow, they say it's our ambassador now. The man who predicted that terrorism, the war on terror will be fought for 20 years. That's Bonatan. And you know the National Assembly still endorsed him without asking him, how did you come to the conclusion that we're going to fight this terrible war for 20 years? The man suddenly woke up one day and said, everybody in Nigeria on the road must be prepared to produce your driving license, INEC voter's card, passport, or whatever. And that if you are caught on the road without any means of identification, you are going to be arrested by soldiers in a democratic society. So I wrote to him, you don't have these powers. If there is going to be any check on the road, it's the business of the police. He said, no, what are you talking? So we went to court. Femi Falana, chief of army staff. And we won. The court held that unless you have a war, you don't have the soldiers on the street. Therefore, thou shalt not disturb this man or any Nigerian from moving on the road, without protest. What's my business to show my ID card to a soldier? We're no longer under the military. So the point I'm making therefore is that this their Decree 24 of 1999, 1999 Constitution so-called, is so-called because, for want of a better word, it's not a constitution. It's a legal document, not a legitimate document. And there's a difference. Anybody can make a law, it's legal. But to derive legitimacy, the people must have a say in how the law was made. Therefore, under this Decree 24, I'm challenging state governments to continue to mount legal battles. Anything not in the exclusive list or concurrent list is called residual. State governments have the powers to set up a team of lawyers. What are the things that are not in these two areas? So that you can rush laws to your National Assembly to organize your society. The final point, and I'm pleading with all of us. Baba has made the point. Yinka did. For me, the greatest tribute we can pay to Yinka today is to decide collectively here that we are going to continue the battle for a new Nigeria. A new Nigeria that will be anchored on justice and fair play. Because that was what Yinka was fighting for all his life. Yinka wasn't fighting for a country. He wasn't fighting for a country of big men. He was fighting for a country of equal rights for all our people. As we are rising up from this very important conference, Baba, you can't get tired, sir. You must continue to lead us aright. And for Yinka and for the family, Joe, please. I'm happy you are an organized person, well organized. Whatever it will take for us to immortalize Yinka Odumake, please don't hesitate to call any of us at any time. And as long, Joe, as long as you continue to tread on the path of justice, we can always be called upon. So another is saying, Yinka, that fellow there, very quiet fighter, Yinka Odumake. For him, Joe, I'm sure you are aware, he takes care He takes care of the families of our comrades. He's in charge. Bamidele Atu, Chima Ubani and the rest. He's in charge, quietly. And you can work with him very, very well. I assure you, you will have no cause in this society to suffer. You will have no cause to regret associating with Nyeka. Because, like Fidel Castro's, people of the same ideas, nothing can separate them. No symmetry, no prison can separate them. I congratulate you for honoring your husband on this occasion. And I want to assure you that you and your children will never suffer in this society. Thank you very much.
Can we please appreciate in this usual the position
to prove rigging of election in Nigeria? Because they say you must prove beyond reasonable doubt. Somebody has rigged election. You say, I don't have the information. INEC has all the information. You say it's mine. The onus is on me to prove it. Falana said it's better for petitioner to sue so that he can defend and raise technicalities. And that's what we're asking our people to do. Let the federal government go to court. Take your actions. Akwa Ibom today has the best domestic airline in Nigeria. Ibom Air. Aviation is in the exclusive legislative list. Akwa Ibom, Imo, Delta, and Anambra have airports, state airports. Airports are in the exclusive legislative list. So if you want to run your own affairs, now that Abuja has collapsed, you know what I mean? Abuja has collapsed. This is the time to move. You say you should have, and I've asked them. I've offered. No governor is ready. I said, governors, please, I've spoken to like 5. Give me the authority to go to court on security. Because an individual can go to the Inspector General of Police. I want to acquire guns to defend myself and my family members. If you are found to be responsible, not people like us, because they may think you want to shoot at them, they will give you the license. You don't know there are people who have licenses to bear arms? Individuals in Nigeria. And I've asked our governors. So why shouldn't the governor of Lagos State go to the same Abuja? I said, sorry. To protect 20 million people, I will need 10,000 licenses for young men and women. If they say no, we simply go to court and accuse the government of discrimination. Because under the law, no policy of the government should suggest discrimination. No restriction that is not applicable to everybody can be applied to you. So, but our people are not ready. On policy in Nigeria, I've said it publicly, and I'm saying it again. No part of this, their constitution, has conferred exclusive powers on the president to control the Nigerian police force. Do you understand me? In this mangood constitution, the president cannot appoint an IG, section 216, or remove one without consulting the members of the Nigerian Police Council. Who are the members of the Nigerian Police Council? The president only as the chairman, the Inspector General of Police, the chairman Police Council, 3 of them, and the 36 state governors. So in that body, it's 36 against 3. 1 vote per person. And usually the chairman cannot vote unless there is a tie. And that body under the constitution shall administer, organize, and supervise the Nigerian police force. That's the constitution I did. But the governors, that body never meets. I have a case in court to compel them, that body to meet regularly because of insecurity. My local standard is being challenged. We ran to the National Assembly. You are amending the Police Act. Please, can you compel the Police Council to meet? So there is a provision in that law, section 6, that the Nigerian Police Council shall meet at least twice a year. That law was enacted in September 2020. They have never met. And we asked our governor, requisition meetings. They are not ready. So the point I'm making therefore is that as bad as this constitution is, those who made the constitution assume many things. So we can take advantage of the law to expose a lot of the loopholes in the constitution. But for those cases I've cited, majority of the states will have collapsed by now if they still depend on Abuja. I am therefore submitting. Again, this may interest you. Case of a few individuals have also gone to court. Chief Femi was fond of that in his lifetime. Femi and Ibrahim Babangida. The Supreme Court decided the president of Nigeria can only set up a tribunal of inquiry in the Federal Capital Territory, not outside. So when they challenge state governments from setting up the NSAS panels, judicial panel, I had to come out to remind them there is this case. The powers of Mr. President is limited to Abuja on tribunals of inquiry. State government have the right under the Constitution to set up tribunals of inquiry. In the case of, if you know what we are going through under our governors, you'll be sorry for our country. I stumbled on a contract in 2014. All money collected, they call it separate fee from foreigners, totally about 40 billion naira per annum. It's shared as follows: 30% to the federal government, 7% to the Ministry of Interior, 5% to immigration, and 52%, the remaining 52%, is taken by a contractor, an Indian. And when I wrote to the government, they said the man has nationalized. I said, if I were in his shoes, would I nationalize? If I'm taking 52% of 40 billion naira in a year, nobody was going to listen to me. I went to the governor. Once they collect the little from Abuja every month, everybody goes home. So I went to court. Femi Falana, Minister of Interior. And the federal court asked them, where is this contract you are talking about? They couldn't show it in court. You know why?